A snake this size has enough venom to kill maybe a dozen people.
Neville Burns doesn't believe in the adage, once bitten, twice shy.
When I was bitten at 18, I was holding a brown snake by the tail. From that position, he struck straight into my face.
Another bite from a red-bellied black snake like this one cost him a finger.
And they fought for about 6 weeks to save it. In the end, no, had to go. Either that or the hand, so the finger went.
And despite being bitten a dozen times in all, snakes remain his passion and his profession.
Now, a lot of people see me do this and they say, is it safe to hold a snake by the tail? The answer is no, definitely not. You see, I've read in books written by naturalists the claim that if you hold a venomous snake by the tail, the snake can't reach you. Well, the snake has never read that book, guys.
Around 3,000 people every year get bitten by snakes in Australia. So Neville gives lectures to utility and council workers who are likely to encounter them.
So I've stepped here, and he does that. I'll stand still. And I'll wait for the snake to move away, because once I stop moving, if he hasn't bitten, he's not going to.
The brown snake is very common, even in towns and cities. It also happens to be the second deadliest snake in the world.
There's the typical striking stance. Now, is he an aggressive snake? No, he's not. Watch. I walk away. If he's aggressive, he'd follow me. He'd go in the opposite way. It's only when I do silly things like this that he's going to turn round and use his right to defend himself. There's the bite.
Venom is extracted from snakes to create a plentiful supply of anti-venom to treat victims, reducing fatalities to roughly 1 a year on average. But patients have to be treated quickly. Anthony Maurer was on a remote bushwalk when he was bitten.
I was vomiting after about 15 minutes. Within an hour I could not walk, stand. I was vomiting blood, foam, headache, nauseous, kidneys were starting to fail.
Anthony was rescued and given multiple doses of anti-venom, but some people are allergic to it. Neville Burns discovered years ago that he's one of them, which is a bit of a disadvantage for a snake handler.
They had to give me 3 lots, and each time they gave it to me, the heart stopped. And then they restarted the heart, gave me adrenaline, and I ended up on life support for 7 days and nights. After being declared clinically dead 3 times, I was paralysed for 9 weeks on one side of the body.
But he refuses to quit. He says every time he's been bitten, it's been his fault, not the snake. Take his advice, though. Don't get too close to one, in case you feel the sharp end of its tongue. Ian Woods, Sky News, Sydney.